So learning a language like English requires a set routine so that for the days when we have less willpower or when we don't have enough time, we still have something to fall back on so that we can stay in touch with the language. We all know that actually staying in touch with something new that we're trying to learn more often is what is the key to success in whatever that thing is, right? In this case, it's learning English. So we need to stay in touch with these. Usually, taking out 15 to 20 minutes is not that difficult, especially if these 20 minutes are split into two parts, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. That can work really, really well for us, especially when we are learning a language as difficult as English. So this 21-minute plan that I'm sharing with you covers three main things. It doesn't cover the usual grammar, etc., because I do feel that a lot of focus on grammar just simply discourages us from learning English and from staying in touch with the fun part of the language. So we are going to look at three main elements in this 21-minute schedule that you can divide. If you want, you can divide it into a 5-minute chunk and then the rest of the 16 minutes, or you can divide it as you want. However, make sure to actually spend 20 minutes every day, at least for a few months, especially when you're starting to learn English, because that's going to be really, really, really beneficial. And these things compound, my friends. Compounding is extremely important, especially in skill acquisition. So with that being said, let's get started. Make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't on the channel. I have a ton of other English learning videos and skill learning videos planned for you guys. So with that, number one is going to be 10 minutes of speaking. Speaking is extremely important. Even if you are not really, really good at speaking, we want to practice speaking. And there's a way to not feel awkward when practicing your English speaking skills. And that's instead of talking to a live human being, a friend or somebody on an English learning app, do it with a camera. And this camera doesn't need to be like a webcam DSLR. It can be your phone. So just talk to that camera, record yourself trying to speak for 10 minutes, and that's going to be more than enough for everything that you need. Now, why is that important, and why are we giving, out of 21 minutes, why are we giving 10 minutes to speaking? Folks, speaking is one of those arts that's going to be more important than even being good at writing, because when we are conversing with other people, when we are actually communicating with other people, could be people in your company where you work, people globally, maybe you've applied for a remote position, maybe you're giving an interview for visa. Speaking is going to cover a big chunk of that. So let's maybe focus a little bit more on speaking than other things, and that's why we've given 10 minutes to speaking. So talk to a camera for 10 minutes, and you can split it into 5-5-minute, two slots, one in the morning, one in the evening, as I said, and that's going to really, really, really help you. Now, what do you want to speak about? You can pick a topic that you're extremely passionate about, that you can take and build upon through bullet points. Ideally, what you can do, let's say you are passionate about, I don't know, let's say mobile phones and tech. So what you want to do is you want to talk to Chat GPT, our trusty old friend, and you're going to tell Chat GPT, hey man, I'm trying to learn English and I need your help. I need to speak on a topic for 10 minutes. I really, really love the tech scene. I love mobile phones. I love PCs, gaming, computers, whatever. Could you please give me a few bullet points that I can speak on? And it's going to give you a few bullet points with a couple of pointers, and you can take those bullet points and expand on those. Now, the good thing is you can take the footage that you've recorded, spend a couple of minutes to watch that footage. You'll see how you pronounce things. You'll notice a lot of different things. For example, the more I record these English videos, the more I realize I have a habit of speaking kind of very, very often. So that's something that I am trying to work on personally. This is me, Shivam, is trying to work on that personally. So you'll notice certain things that you feel, maybe this is not the best thing that's happening when I'm speaking English, and that's going to help you out. So that's one. It's 10 minutes of speaking, 5 minutes of listening. And when I say listening, folks, it's listening, it's not watching, and you'll know why in a quick couple of minutes. So listening means even if you're watching a YouTube video, I want you to put your earphones on, put your phone in your pocket. We want to evoke only our listening side of things, or our ears, the only listening side of our senses. So we are trying to mix and match a lot of other things. And listening is important because it allows our brain to only focus on listening. You can do it passively as well, so you can do your house chores, you can clean, you wash utensils, and listen to something for 5 minutes. Can be as simple as an English video on YouTube, right? So can be a 5 minutes of an audio book. If you want to do it for more, that's fine, or rather for longer, that's fine. If you want to do it for 5 minutes, that's fine. Number 3 of this 21-minute schedule, which is again an important one, is watching English. Now watching can happen with on movies, so 6 minutes, I think it's quite less for a movie, but an English movie with English subtitles, so that we can associate some kind of written context with what's happening up there. Now this can also be a YouTube video, and for YouTube videos, if you want to skip on those subtitles, it's fine. The reason of actually spending a little bit of time to watch somebody speaking English is pretty simple. You want to see the lip movement, and psychologically, or rather subconsciously, our brain starts to note these patterns. Our brain starts to look at how others are working with when they are speaking, how the lips look, how the movement of the muscle works. The brain subconsciously picks on all of these things, and it's important. So when you're actively trying to learn English on the side and you watch somebody speaking English, your brain subconsciously tries and make connections. And this is the same thing that will happen. Let's say you were learning, I have like a guitar behind me, so if you were learning a guitar piece, for example, and you watch somebody else perform that guitar piece, automatically after watching them for like half an hour, your practice is going to be a bit smoother because your brain has started to make those connections already. And that's what we want when we are watching somebody speaking English. And now you know why I was saying that listening is only listening, watching is only watching. So we're trying to evoke all different senses. We're trying to put the same information, or rather similar information, into our brain from different sides and different modes. And this 21-minute schedule, if you follow it for every single day, then you are gold. Now, of course, you can skip a couple of days here and there. Life happens. I agree. And I understand that. However, the best thing that you can do is have a daily practice. If not daily, at least 5 days to 6 days a week, spend 21 minutes and you are done. You don't need to look at grammar as of now. Grammar should be probably the last thing. I do know there are a couple of great language based researchers, so researchers, scientists, people who actually talk about language learning as a skill, and they've mentioned it multiple times as well, that grammar is something that needs to be acquired. And if we look at a language from an acquisition standpoint rather than a study and a learning standpoint, things are going to be much easier. And that's something that a lot of spies, etc., use as well when learning a foreign language. And usually the person could be like 35, 40 years old, and they need to pick up a language in a couple of months, and they need to be as good as a native speaker, or it's their life on the line. So skill acquisition is going to be much powerful, and that's why this specific routine comes in very handy. So do let me know how you're liking these videos, and if you guys have any questions regarding learning English, would love to answer them in the upcoming videos on this channel. And as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, bye and take care.